Day one. Well, I made it to the Pinhoti Outdoor Center. It took a little bit more doing than I expected, but we had a good night here. We went to bed to thunderstorms and woke up to thunderstorms, so we decided to just postpone our early start by a couple hours. It's clearing up now. It should be a great day for a hike with sunshine by the end of the day. So we're looking forward to getting started on the Pinhoti. That it did take some doing to get here yesterday. I got up at 4 o'clock in the morning in Colorado and hopped on a plane from Denver to Atlanta, and then was supposed to take another flight from Atlanta to Chattanooga, where Gunslinger was going to pick me up, but unfortunately we got delayed in Denver and I missed my Chattanooga connection. So she was kind enough to just pass Chattanooga and come meet me outside of Atlanta at the airport, and then we drove all the way down here to 𝐒𝐿𝐻𝐻𝐻, Alabama, which is where we are starting the Pinhoti Trail. Actually, we're starting at Flagg Mountain, but we've got a shuttle ride arranged here, and then we have to drive about, I think, half an hour or so down to where Flagg Mountain is at the very beginning of the trail. We will hike for 2 days and then be back here in 2 nights and then carry on heading north. If you watched my previous video, you know that I sent a package here because I didn't want to have to carry trekking poles, which you would have to check, and I didn't want to check a bag because of the connection. I stuck some other things in that box, like food for the next couple days. I have my food for the first 2 days, and then I have food for the next leg after this is in that box. I also packed my stove because you can't carry that on the plane. I packed my puffy and my rain jacket because I assumed that that box was going to be here a week ago, and it has not arrived yet. So that might not have been the best decision I ever made. I was relying on the post office to deliver when they said they would, and they haven't, and I don't really know when the box is. But I am hopeful at this point that it will be here when we get back tomorrow night. And yeah, if it doesn't, then I'll just have to wing it. But I have been able to make arrangements for the things that I'm missing. I brought a poncho from home. I took some old trekking poles and broke them down into pieces and put them in my pack, and thankfully TSA let them slide through in Denver, so I have a pair of trekking poles. I'm going to borrow Gunslinger's stove. We'll just share for a couple days to share our fuel and our stove and a pot. I brought another puffy, so I'll have a few things that I might want to send home when the box finally shows up. But thankfully I was able to make all that work without having to run to the store and spend a bunch of money. But it is a hazard when you send a box. There's no guarantee that it is going to arrive where you expect it to. I'm just happy I'm able to roll with it and make things work. We just got dropped off by Kim from the Pinhoti Outdoor Center, and we're setting our first footsteps on the Pinhoti Trail. We just came out of the woods, and this is the fire tower at the top of Flagg Mountain. Firework. Yeah, this little pine family. That must be Papa and Mama and Junior and Baby. All right, well, I turned to the camera and had a good laugh and the hairdo, but you know, I'm hiking, so who cares? We just had a nice little lunch break at the shelter here. It's about 3 miles in. I think it's called the 𝐒𝐿𝐻𝐻𝐻 shelter. And we've got another 7, 8, maybe 9 miles today. We're just kind of taking it easy and enjoying it. And rained like crazy last night, but this morning it is finally starting to get sunny. A little bit light coming through the trees, and there's a beautiful creek down there. The whole trail is gorgeous so far, so we're having a good time and just both really excited to be out on the trail again. And yeah, it's just nice to be starting another long hike. These ferns are like waist high. It's pretty cool. Alright, we are not quite 6 miles in. Let's say we are coming to our first road walk. Many, many miles of road walk. Yeah, we've been cruising down the road and almost missed this little blue blaze over here. Yeah, you got this. Well, it was a good first day. I'm in my tent. We already had dinner and it's only like 6:30, but I think 𝐂𝐚₧ and I are both ready for bed. We did a little over 10 miles today, which is pretty good. It was in the range that we had targeted, and we're going to get up early in the morning and knock out another 12 or so, and then we'll be back at the hostel, which will be nice. And I'm crossing my fingers that my package is there. It really kind of stinks that I don't have it, and I'm making do, and people are, she's lending me her stove, and yeah, we're just try to make it work, but it's not fun to not have your gear, so hopefully that'll get sorted out tomorrow. The caretaker we met last night at the Pinhoti Outdoor Center was telling us that this is probably going to be a pretty solitary journey. Thank goodness that we've got a buddy to do it with, so there's 2 of us. But he did say there's a lot of people doing through hikes. You'll probably see some section hikers and day hikers as we work our way up to Georgia, but definitely not a very well-traveled through hiking trail, long-distance trail. So it's going to be interesting. And today we only saw 2 other hikers actually, and they had camped out last night and were heading back to their cars. So didn't meet any other through hikers, but we did meet some people as we were passing through town. Nimblewell Nomad, the famous oldest AT hiker, rode by as we were sitting in front of the general store in 𝐒𝐻𝐫𝐭, and he gave us a wave, which was pretty darn awesome. We met some puppies while we were sitting there, and then actually a couple came up and they needed to get something from the store, so I guess they just called the owner and said, hey, come on down, open up, there's a couple hikers here. So we got some sodas and a snack and sat outside for a little bit and then continued doing some road walking, which is not ideal, but thankfully so far the roads have not been super busy and they haven't been dangerous. But I understand the last couple miles tomorrow is going to be a little dicey. I certainly enjoy being out in the woods much more than I enjoy being on the road, but this trail is somewhat newer trail, and they're doing their best to get things off of the road and into the woods, but it does take a lot of negotiation with landowners and things like that. So it's not the easiest thing to accomplish, and they're doing a really good job. And I have to say, so far, based on what I've seen the first day, the trail is very well maintained. The people around here are amazing. The trail is beautiful. And other than taking a pretty hard tumble about a mile away from camp, which just is a sign, I guess, that I'm pretty tired, it has been a great day. So hoping that this is just the start of a really great hike, and I'll be back at you tomorrow.